What's going on, everybody? It's your friend Will, and we are back this morning on the Memory Labs with some more new Ravnica, Guilds of Ravnica standard. And I have an interesting one that I'm going to play a little bit this morning to complete a quest. That green black again, no surprise, primarily because I've gone through the trouble of crafting the lands, and primarily because I just love the Explorer cards and cards like Stitcher Supplier, glowspore shaman. So this is different from what we showed on the Muldrotha deck. This is a little more all in. And you're just basically trying to mill yourself as much as possible in the first few turns in order to set up a really good turn 5 gruesome menagerie, and then turn 6 izoni. And this is a card that, if you watch my pack opening video, it's like a pretty exciting card, but I didn't know if there was really going to be enough to make it work, and I wasn't thinking about the implications of the Explorer cards and just how good it is to play them down, get that first bit of value out of their own Explorer triggers, then trade with them on maybe a clogged up board, and then bring them back. So I've just had games where I've played like Stitcher Supplier into Branchwalker into Ranger and cast Gruesome Menagerie on turn 5, and my opponent just conceded. Like, they just straight up conceded. You have plaguecrafter as well. It's really good to make your menagerie just super powerful against more mid-rangey decks that have bigger creatures or decks that have planeswalkers. Like, I totally forgot this guy hits planeswalkers as well. And we are playing like one finality. So this list, by the way, this is not something that I came up with, but there's kind of a lot of different lists floating around. I've seen versions of the deck that play Burglar Rat as a 2-drop instead of things like Wildgrowth Walker, and I've also seen just like the 2-drop that draws a card, the Vampire. What's his name? Oh, well, I probably haven't crafted them yet. The 2-mana one that draws a card. Also cool in this deck is Midnight Reaper. This card, every time I get this card in play, it's been extremely powerful. So, really cool. Just really powerful deck. And then, of course, you have the Izoni on the top end. And I included a Memorial to Folly in here, too, to help you get back an Izoni that might be put into the graveyard. Like, I think these utility lands, I think more and more you're going to see decks that play Glowspore Shaman using more of them because of the ability to just... Glowspore Shaman's like not very exciting mid-game when you already have 6, 7, 8 lands in play, but the ability to bring back a utility land that might have been milled or already used, I think is actually quite good. So, anyways, that's enough about the deck. We're not playing with sideboards right now, but let's just get it in the queue. Assuming people are up and ready to play. Let's go. Cool, so this is a nice one. If we draw any of our Explore cards, we're going to go off with walkers. Perfect. Let's see if this eats a counterspell. It does. Syncopate's a punishing one, but normally, again, since we have the mass reanimation spell, we don't care that much about. So this is annoying. I don't think we want them hitting us with this. So let's just take this off the board. And then next turn we can just go Walker, Branchwalker. wonder if they're going to hit us with nickel bowls here. If they do, we'd probably discard llanowar elf or the thief of sanity. Okay. Not much we can do about that. Yeah, I think we want to draw that next turn. Oh, shoot. The thief of sanity. Alright, so that's not as good. It looks like they took the izoni. That's a bummer. If this card's competitive, I'll be really happy. I was a huge Hypnotic Spectre fan back in the day. Alright, so with that being the case... This card actually totally destroys our ability to set up the top of our deck. Oh, but you know what we'll do? Ugh, I wish I had one more land. I could have set this up differently. If we had one more mana, we could have put the land on top and used jadelight to draw it, but it doesn't really do anything for us. We're just going to go wide then. Nice deck, completely countered by Thief of Sanity. This card, I'm sure, is going to be probably not main deckable, but I imagine in the sideboard it'll be quite good. Oh wow, that's a nice draw for them. I don't know if I want to destroy all creatures here yet. Is there anything good to find? There is kind of. Well, let's see what our jadelight hits. And then we'll find something back, hopefully. Nope, we just got double lands, it's not great. No, I think we just attack and see if they block. If they block, they get the card, but we get to take it, pluck it back then with find. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good for us. So let's get both of these for next turn. Goodbye, one of them. Plaguecrafter. Okay, so we're gonna get to stick the Midnight Reaper, which is nice. we're in the business of just jamming, getting as much damage through and drawing wherever we can. Yeah. That's a nice one. I guess we'll just put a land on top in case they attack with a thief. We're going to play this next turn no matter what. They're probably holding back to block though. 2, 4, 6. They could flip Nicol Bolas here. They're deciding not to. Oh, since he got exiled, we don't get to draw. Huh. Okay. Now if they have a counter spell, which I think they're likely to have, but I think we have to go for it anyways, right? Nice, okay. So we can get plaguecrafter to make them sack something, branchwalker, and llanowar elves. We'll sack our fresh llanowar elves. Library. Yeah, I think we'll push 3 here. Worth noting this person has a very real deck. I mean, they have like dual lands, although they're playing a Dimir Guildgate. They're on a very, very real deck, so it doesn't feel like we're beating up on someone. Unless they've just drawn the only rares in their deck. So even them flipping Nicol Bolas is pretty bad here because of the plaguecrafter on top. At least it gives them fodder to sacrifice to the plaguecrafter. And then we get to put them down to 1 here. They probably have a little more removal, but I think we're just going to keep pushing damage. I guess we put them down at 2. Because honestly, like, we have 3 more izonis in the deck, so, and 2 more gruesome menageries, so just putting cards into the graveyard and getting a little bit of damage through really does not matter. Another Brass's Contempt, that's annoying. Oh, that's a nice one for them. Alright, let's see like a nice one on top. Okay, we'll hold that. Actually, 2, 4, 6, we should play it, because if we draw a Zoni, then we can also immediately activate it. Oh. Running Vraska's Contempt was pretty good against our attempts to jam in for damage. I imagine they'll draw and flip here. Luckily, we have nothing crazy, and neither do they, for them to reanimate if they flip their nickel bolus. I wonder if they would consider flipping just drawing. I mean, they can't. They just can't because they're dead. They have to hold it back. Oh, now they're going to play the izoni that they stole. So they actually get some creatures out of it. Bad time for us to be ripping land, too. This is only a 22 land deck because of the amount of explorer and the llanowar elves and the shamans. So, ideally you don't rip land at this point in the game. We'll give it one more draw step. This Thief of Sanity, or the second one, just like single-handedly lost us the game because we were completely unable to set up the top of our deck. It's pretty nuts. I wonder if we could have. I think we got the right two things back with our find. Like we drew 3 cards or 2 cards out the Midnight Reaper. I think we actually more or less made the right decisions. It's just not going to work out. We just bricked now these 2 turns that we needed to not brick. Citrus Supplier is not really an all-star at this point in the game. These are all, yeah, cards that don't help us, so I'm fine putting them in the graveyard. The one thing that we're missing, and the one thing that I've had a hard time with in all these builds is finding a good way to, like, once you've milled yourself out, yeah, that does it. Once you've sufficiently milled yourself out, like, and you have like a couple of zonies and stuff in the graveyard, like, getting one back is really hard to do. So that's why I included that land, though unfortunately the land got destroyed by their Notion Thief. Cool, Hurricane Phoenix. But let's go again, because we're making quest progress. That was close, and we're not going to come up against that 2/2 flyer too often, I don't think. If I had played around that one better, I could have kept them from stealing the izoni. Like, I would have milled the izoni into the graveyard, and then set up a turn where I brought back the utility land when I could explore it into hand. So that was where I made my mistake for sure. Just the early sequencing and not thinking about how that card was going to interact with the top of our deck. And then I would have had really good inevitability with the izoni. Alright. Let's jadelight here to get something big on the board. And then next turn we'll go double shaman. And let's draw that. I think that'll be good. This will be good against a 5/4. Shock. Decline the first one for sure. I guess we'll take that. We do have to get to 5 and 6, so. let's decline it, because I think we want to draw non-land next turn. I want to push here because I want to make the plaguecrafter better. And this does that. And just because we have the inevitability again. Well, I don't think plaguecrafter's going to be good against their deck if they just keep playing 1/1s. That's a nice one, though. Damn, that's really good. This deck almost, this is mono green, like almost certainly can't beat izoni. This card is so annoying. Not that it could block that one anyways, because it can't be blocked by black creatures, but... Yikes. Wow. That's pretty good against my izoni plan, not gonna lie. Pick the right one. And I ripped one. Okay, well, actually ripping one's pretty good. This lets us trade up with the Galta here. Which I think is what we want to do. It says trample? No, it says hexproof. Alright, so let's go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Prevent 6 over here. I just hope they don't have some crazy pump spell. Alright, I thought we were doing really well until they just played 6-6 and 12-12. Okay. Wow, and they left the izoni in play, which sucks for us. They're playing Adventurous Impulse. Oh, that's right, they couldn't have played a pump spell without... Well, they could have. They would just need to use that ability. Alright, so I think we have much better blocks this turn now that Galt is off the board. Oh, come on. 8, 10. I think we have to do it like this. Alright, so I think this turn, though... Hmm. I guess I just rip another one, huh? I wish I had more mana so I could activate it. If they block with the Rejuvenator, I'll be so happy. But I think we just have to do this. And make another one. Get all the beetles into play. We might actually get a, oh, okay. I wonder if it's possible that they've been holding back a pump spell. Wow, they're just trading it. That's awesome for us. Oh, that makes sense, because they have another one. Ooh, so what can we do with this menagerie? I think we save the menagerie for next turn. Play plaguecrafter. Put it into the graveyard. And then menagerie it back next turn. We'll know exactly what their hand is, at least. That's pretty good protection against the plaguecrafter plan. Let's take some cards and some life. Oh, that's nice. Okay, wildgrowth walker into menagerie now is a thing. Do we have any jadelights down here? We do. So let's get wildgrowth walker, jadelight ranger, and let's get another llanowar elves, because we need to be able to block these wine mirrors. And let's keep the plaguecrafter on top. Alright, that did it. Pretty nice play to gain some life there. And that one went really long. Interesting. Well, yeah, that's about 30 minutes, so I'll show the deck again, and I'll put the deck list below. I'm really interested in this archetype. I'm interested to see what's possible with the sideboard. So, yeah, for sure, if you have the cards and you like these types of decks, this is a really fun one to play. Lots of little micro decisions, as you saw in Game 1, where sequencing can really matter when you're doing things with setting up the top of your deck, and especially when your opponent has a way to interact with that. But Gruesome Menagerie is way more powerful than I think most gave it credit for coming into the new set. You just have to build your deck around the right cards, and just gets gets a lot of value. Gets a lot of value. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And post below if you have ideas for other decks that I should be looking at. You know, right now obviously it's like still the first few days. We haven't had any major events with the new set, so deck lists are pretty scarce. It's hard to know what's good and what's just someone's random deck list that they're throwing out completely untested. But definitely interested in exploring stuff beyond green, though green just has a lot of the fun stuff, so I'm enjoying playing it. But yeah, that's it for today. We'll be back with more tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bleeder.